Hello, YouTube. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to create this modern sidebar in C#.NET Windows Forms application. Let's begin by creating a new project in a Windows Forms app using the .NET framework. In my main form, I will set the border style to none to remove the generic top bar style and replace it with a panel. I will then change the panel's background color and ensure that it is docked to the top. Now, to create our sidebar panel with a gradient effect, let's add a new class. Now, let's inherit the gradient sidebar panel from the panel class. This class will function as a custom control. Inside our custom class, we create two public properties, gradient top and gradient bottom. These properties will store the top and bottom colors of the gradient, and they are publicly accessible, allowing developers to set these colors when using our custom control. We override the onPaint method, which is a fundamental method used in Windows Forms for custom painting of controls.
In this line, we create a new linear gradient brush named Linear. This brush is used for painting the gradient background. It takes three parameters: the controls client rectangle, the top color, and the bottom color. The 90 Fahrenheit value represents the angle of the gradient, where 90 degrees represents a vertical gradient.
We retrieve the graphics object from the paint event arcs. The graphics object allows us to draw on the controls surface. With the graphics object in hand, we use it to fill the entire client rectangle of our control with the gradient specified by the linear brush. This effectively paints the background of our custom control with the gradient colors. Let's add the gradient sidebar panel from our toolbox and set its docked properties to the left. Now you can set the top and bottom colors for your gradient from the properties. As you've observed, the form appears somewhat plain and lacks a box shadow. In the next step, we will proceed to add a shadow effect to the form. We begin by defining some private variables: drag, mouse X, and mouse Y. These will be used to track dragging actions in the mouse's X and Y positions. Next, we declare several constants related to Windows messages and attributes. These constants are used to determine how the window interacts with user actions. We introduce the arrow-enabled variable, which is used to check whether the arrow theme is enabled on the system. Arrow provides visual effects like transparency and shadows. More constants are defined to set specific window attributes, including adding a drop shadow to the window. We import functions from external libraries like dwmappy.dll and gda32.dll to access functionality related to arrow effects and window manipulation. A margin struct is created to store margin values for window decoration, such as borders and shadows. We override the createParams property. This property is used to adjust the window style based on whether arrow is available. If arrow is disabled, we add a drop shadow to the Windows class style. The checkArrow-enabled method is defined to check if the arrow theme is enabled on the system. This is determined based on the operating system version. We override the wndproc method, which handles window messages. In particular, it responds to the wmncpaint message, which is sent when a portion of the non-client area of the window needs to be painted. Inside the wndproc method, if arrow is enabled, we set specific window attributes and extend the frame into the client area to create the shadow effect. This enhances the window's visual appearance. As you can see, we've successfully introduced a subtle box shadow to our form, enhancing its visual appeal and providing a touch of sophistication. In the next step, let's add drag and drop functionality to our top bar panel. To add the drag and drop functionality, let's add three event handlers: mouse up, mouse down, and mouse move. In the top bar, mouse down event handler when the user clicks on the top bar panel, indicating the start of a drag and drop operation. It sets the drag flag to true, marking the beginning of the operation, and records the mouse cursor's position relative to the panel for precise tracking during the drag. In the mouse up event handler, we simply need to set the drag to false. Lastly, in the top bar mouse move method, it comes into play when the user is actively dragging the panel following a click on the top bar. This event continually updates the panel's position in real time, aligning it with the current mouse cursor position. We've successfully implemented drag and drop functionality for our top bar panel, enhancing the user experience and enabling intuitive interaction with the application. Now, let's begin creating our menu buttons by adding a new user control as our custom menu buttons. Now, within the user control, adjust the size of the user control according to your requirements. Add a label, ensure it is docked to fill the available space, and customize its properties. You can also place an image within this label to serve as your icon. Now, add a panel. This panel will be used to indicate the active state of the menu, enhancing its visual feedback. Now, declare these three variables: menu title, which will set the title of the menu button; icon, which will define the button's image; and border color, which will determine the button's appearance when it is active. And by default, it is set to transparent color. Now, we'll proceed by creating three distinct properties, each corresponding to the variables we previously declared. These properties are essential as they dictate how the custom menu control reacts to alterations in menu title, icon, and border color. They provide a flexible means to customize and dynamically update the appearance and behavior of the menu control based on these key attributes, ensuring a responsive and visually appealing user interface. Add paint event in our user control. The primary purpose of this method is to handle the visual rendering of the custom menu control. It ensures that the menu title, icon image, and the border color, which are controlled by the corresponding properties, are accurately synchronized with the visual presentation of the control. Now, let's add the custom user control menu to our main form. Make sure to set the background color to transparent and configure the menu title and icon using the provided properties. This way, you can seamlessly integrate the menu into your main form with a transparent background and easily customize its content to suit your application's needs. Repeat the same configuration steps with the other menu, ensuring that you follow the identical process to set the background color to transparent and customize the menu title and icon using the provided properties. This consistency across menus not only maintains a cohesive design but also streamlines the integration of additional menus into your main form, creating a harmonious and user-friendly user interface. Declare event handler that will allow other code to register event handlers and respond to menu item clicks. Make sure to add the click event handler to our label as well. In the menu click method, the event menu click is invoked using the invoke syntax. This action triggers the event and, in turn, notifies any registered event handlers, passing information about the clicked menu item. This allows for custom actions or responses to be executed when a menu item is clicked, enhancing the interactive functionality of the menu control. Declare a list with the type of the user control we created. This list will store the user control menu buttons, making the code reusable. And in the constructor, populate the list with the user control menu. Now, let's create a private method. This method will serve as a reusable click event handler for each menu button. In the menu click event, declare a variable to retrieve the clicked menu button. Next, let's implement a switch statement to intelligently determine which menu is currently active. In the context of this tutorial, we are working with three distinct menus: Home, About, and Settings. To cater to each menu's unique behavior, we will create three specific cases within the switch statement, allowing us to execute different actions based on the active menu. Let's create another private method named ActiveMenu. This method manages the appearance of the active menu by highlighting it with a white border and dimming the others by setting their border color to transparent. This ensures that only one menu appears as active at a time. Let's initialize the active menu method within the switch case statement. The first parameter will be the active menu, and the remaining parameters will represent inactive menus. Don't forget to initialize the click menu method with the parameters corresponding to the list we declared in the constructor. We have successfully created this modern sidebar panel with a gradient effect. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Thank you for watching.